Hello everyone. For today's lesson, we are going to be making paper flowers. I've included in the LV Google Classroom some videos that show you how to make paper flowers and paper leaves, but I just kind of wanted to show you, some of them are simple, some of them are more complicated, but there's some basic things, some basic paper techniques that I wanted to show you that might help you a lot when you're making your paper flowers and other things. So one of the tricks I wanted to show you, I have this piece of paper. I'd really like for it to be a square. So if I want it to be a square, if I know that I have two corners or two sides that make a corner, a 90-degree corner, right? I can fold the paper, kind of line it up a little bit, just like that. If I get it folded so that the edges match, then I can see what I need to cut off to make a square. This can work well if you're trying to do origami and you don't have paper, although origami works best with thinner paper. Construction paper is difficult to use for origami. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this corner to corner, and I'm going to fold it corner to corner. This may look familiar. I think we did this when we did our snowflakes. Okay, remember that you want to keep track of the corner that's folded. Okay, and then we're going to fold it one more time. In some of the videos, you'll see the people using a tool that might look something like this. This is called a folding bone, and you can use it to make a nice crease. You can use it to you know, make little indented line designs. Okay, so here is the corner, right? When we unfold this, that would be the middle of the paper, the middle of your square. And we're going to take this and we're just going to kind of cut a curve, just like we might with a snowflake. Okay, actually we can kind of, depending on how you cut the curve, that will kind of determine the shape of your flower petals. So let's get out of the way. Woo. And then we're going to open it up. Okay, so now we have a flower. This is a two-dimensional flower because it is flat, but we want to make today some three-dimensional flowers. So we are going to take our flower and, right, there's so many different ways to do this. Okay, one of the ways is we can just cut part of it. Ooh, my glue stick looks yucky. All right, we're gonna cut part of it and just kind of put some glue on one of those little sections. And then we're gonna overlap. Okay, we're just gonna overlap that just like that. And we're gonna glue it down. So now our flower looks a little more three-dimensional. Okay, another technique that you can use, oh gracious, is to take a pencil or something that is round, cylindrical like this, and put it behind the petal and just kind of wrap that little petal right around it. Gives that petal a little curve. Makes it look a little more like a flower. Just like that. Okay, so now we have, oops, now we have a flower that is kind of looking a little 3D. I have another piece over here. I'm going to make another layer to the flower. This piece was slightly smaller. Let's see, so I'm going to fold it just like I did. Here's the corner. And I'm going to see if I can't make this one. There you go. Kind of like that. And I'm going to open it up and give it a little snip, just like this. Now, if I fold it like I did the first one, right, I can place it inside. If I want it to be a little smaller, right, a little tighter, I can go like that. I kind of like the look of that. So I'm going to put some glue on the two petals, two sections, I guess, and then I'm going to overlap it and glue it down. Don't forget that when you use the glue stick or even the white glue. Sometimes you have to hold it for a moment to let the paper soak the glue in and kind of really stick. So now I will take my pencil, woo, and I will curve those little petals down, just like that. Okay, and then I will figure out how I want this one to go inside. I'm going to use some white glue for this. I think the white glue might work a little better. I'm going to put a little bit of white glue. Ooh, maybe a lot of white glue. I'll put some white glue right here. And I am going to set this inside and maybe hold it for just a moment. I'm also going to show you how to make a center, a flower center if you want. You could put as many of these on top of each other as you wanted to create your three-dimensional flower. Okay, but I'm going to set that aside for a moment and let that dry. And I have some paper strips. I have two, oh my goodness, two paper strips. One's a little wider than the other. This paper strip, this is the same kind of idea, right? And you can just kind of cut some little snips right out of your paper strip. You're gonna snip the strip. Watch your fingers. And then we can take some glue stick or white glue, and we can start rolling. Kind of start rolling that just like that. And the glue is going to kind of keep it all together. Okay, once that is all rolled up, we can take our fingers, kind of spread these out a little bit. Takes a moment, there we go. And we can always take some white glue and glue that right into the center. Another way to do this is to take a wider strip, fold it in half, and do the same thing, right? I'm gonna make this one a little smaller, and cut the strips, cut the little snips out of the strips. And we're gonna open it, take our glue stick, put some glue on there, take this part and fold it over. Just like that. Give it a moment. Make sure it kind of grabs. Sometimes it's easier to start if you take your pencil and kind of wrap it around the pencil first. Just like that, right? So I think what I'll do is I'll put some glue on here, but I won't put it right up on the edge. I'm just going to kind of put a little glue down here. So that way I can use my pencil to roll it. And I won't get the glue stuck on my pencil. There we go. Ooh, that's gross. Okay. Here we go. I'm definitely going to want to hold that for a moment. And then I can just slide the pencil right out. And the same thing, you can just kind of bend these right out, but they're a little more loopy. Okay. That one has a little hole in the center. So, let's see. I'm going to put a little glue in here. I need a little more glue. And that may take a little longer to dry. And I'm going to put this, I'm just going to stick it right down in that glue. And I'm going to set it aside for a moment. Oh, get in there. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. And then I'm going to show you how to make a stem. Okay, like a nice little stem that you can attach to the bottom of your flower. Now I have some green construction paper here. And I don't know if you've ever noticed, but construction paper folds more easily in one direction than it does in another. Okay, if you fold it this way, you can kind of feel some resistance. But if you fold it this way, it folds very nicely. So I can take my pencil. You can also use a drinking straw, anything, you know, anything else you want to. I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of roll it on my pencil. And I'm gonna take my scissors and give it a little cut right there. Take my glue stick and roll it up. Now this is definitely going to take a moment. You're going to want to hold this for a minute because the paper really wants to open back up. You're going to have to give it a minute to really grab that glue stick. Okay. Probably could use some more time, but that's all right. So I'm going to pull my pencil out. Okay, and then I have this nice little tube, this little stem. But how do you attach the stem end right here to the bottom of the flower? You are going to make some little cuts on one end, right? And then you're going to kind of fold them out a little bit, just like this. Okay. And you can use glue stick or white glue. I think just for now, I'm just going to use some glue stick. I'd probably wait a little longer between, you know, making and attaching, but I don't want the video to be too long. And then we're going to flip this over and we're going to put this right here, and then we're going to press those little tabs right onto the bottom of the flower, just like that. Give it a chance to stick. Gotta be patient. There we go. And mine is not super strong yet because I didn't really give it a whole lot of time. But now you have, oh, there it goes. A three-dimensional flower with a stem. Right? And there, like I said, there's a lot of different ways to do this. You can cut out leaves and attach them, glue them onto the stem. And there are a lot of different videos that I have included for you to kind of play around with your paper. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. So see what your paper will do for you. And I can't wait to see what you come up with.